Welcome back to the channel. We have a video today that we want to show. It's Tucker at the Freedom Conference in Australia. So we have this clip here that we wanted to share and then talk about it.
Okay. All right, here we go.
But I watched CNN today, and they had the presidential debate, the U.S. presidential debate. And maybe some of you saw it. And if you did, well, it was amazing. It was amazing on every level. But what was especially amazing was afterward, they went to the panel of assembled Democratic operatives posing as journalists, and all of them were like shocked to discover that Joe Biden has dementia. Like they couldn't believe it. What? Oh my gosh. He's non-compass mentis. No way. Are you serious?
He's so funny.
And I'm thinking to myself, what year is it? 2024-ish? Middle-aged people identify with that? Okay, 2024, people are saying. It was 2019 that I heard from a friend of mine who was friends with his sister, Val, that the family was very upset because Joe has dementia and he's running for president. And, well, I said this on TV, by the way, at the time, and was denounced as a racist or something. I mean, everything, in the United States, like, that's just like the all-purpose term for shut up. Racist! Yeah. It's like, I think he's white. Shut up, racist! Okay. Anyway.
I know, I love it.
But his sister had told a friend of mine, like an actual friend of mine, one of my neighbors, that the family was upset and that his son, sadly, had passed away. By the way, not in Iraq fighting a war for freedom, but of cancer. I don't think he's aware of that. But sad. And that the family was convinced he needed to kind of get it out of his system by running for president. But of course, no one's going to like make Joe Biden the nominee because we had Pete Buttigieg for that. Who's, now it's a joke. But at the time, they were like, people are going to love Pete Buttigieg. He's incompetent, but he's gay. Great. And then people were like, what? No. So they had to go to Joe Biden, and he actually became the nominee and then somehow became the president. But it was obvious the whole time that he had no idea where he was and that it was cruel and that his grasping, horrible wife who like poses as a doctor was pushing this so she could go to state dinners. And everyone knew this. Like there's not one person who didn't know this. And when
it's
you
so
travel
clear
outside
now.
our borders, you know, people are always so nice about other people's countries. Like they don't attack you to your face. And obviously I'm the most American person who's ever lived and I love my country and I'm going to die there and would die for it without even thinking. That's how much, and I mean that. So everyone wants to be polite to you about your country. And when, like if I ever went to New Zealand, I wouldn't mention Jacinda Ardern or what, you know what I mean? That would be rude. I wouldn't say like, oh, that retarded girl with the teeth, is she here?
Oh,
you know,
no.
That would be.
Oh, no.
No, I wouldn't. Because that's not something a guest says, right? You're in someone else's, you know, you're having dinner at someone's house, like the food is appalling. What's so good? You know what I mean? But even given the high standards of politeness offered to foreigners in foreign lands, everywhere I've traveled around the world for the past 4 years, and it's been a lot of countries, people are like, so Joe Biden, how is he? And you're like, well, I think he has dementia. He certainly does. Like everybody knows, because they have, I can't remember, the internet. And it has video on it. And it takes about 15 seconds to determine the leader of the most powerful country in the world with this mass nuclear arsenal involved in 2 simultaneous wars doesn't know what day it is. And that's really scary. But if you come to the United States and you're in the media envelope, this like fake world created by this disinformation specialists who run our media, that's never mentioned at all. It's like everyone it would literally be like everyone pretending Jacinda Ardern is like a legitimate person, which they may have done in New Zealand. I wasn't there. You know what I mean? Where people say, oh, that's the prime minister. What? It's ridiculous, actually.
Yep, there's a little bit
but
more.
everyone sort of plays along like it's not happening. And this is the whole Emperor's New Clothes story is based on this phenomenon, which is a very human phenomenon. But for the media today to be like, wow, we just got the diagnosis. This is shocking. He can't run for president. Kind of either they're really stupid, like too stupid to breathe unaided, or they're liars. They're truly dishonest. They're hiding the obvious from you. And I'm betting on the latter, but even more amazing was the response to that. So remember that our media are not just observers of reality or describers of reality, people who bring you the story first on the scene. No, they're the gatekeepers to reality. You don't know what the world looks like except through them. Like they are the pipeline through which all information flows. Mm-hmm. In the United States, they're political actors. They work for a political party, in effect, if not officially. Like they all work for the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party, and I think this is probably true here, has one mission this season, which is to save democracy, which is gravely in peril, you may have heard, by Vladimir Putin, who is ending our democracy, somehow. And don't laugh. What are you Putin lovers? Anyway, yeah, okay. That's fine, I don't care. It's not my president. You can love anyone you want, as far as I'm concerned, because I believe in, the autonomy of man. You can have your own opinions. But the point is, in my country, and probably here, the self-described mission of everyone in the media is to save democracy. And democracy, simply defined, is the idea that the people own their country. It's their country, and they hire people to represent them. But fundamentally, they are shareholders in this enterprise. They're owners. They're not serfs. They're not renting it. This isn't a rental car. It's your car. You change the oil in it because it belongs to you, right? And that's what citizenship is. And so in a democracy, you don't have to do everything the majority wants every moment, but over time, if what you're doing bears no relationship to what the majority wants, then you know for a fact it's not democracy. And, you can try to convince people of things. You can say, well, you want this, but I think you should want that, and here's why. But you can't ignore them, or else it's not a democracy. It's an oligarchy. And you see yourself as the owner, and they're the tenants, the serfs, the renters, and you can just do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what they think. So that's the most anti-democratic attitude possible, right? That attitude is the enemy of democracy. And all of a sudden today, these defenders of democracy are like, well, obviously Joe Biden's got Alzheimer's, and he's super unpopular, he can't win, therefore we need to replace him. And it's like, wait a second, he was already elected in the biggest landslide ever. I don't know if you knew that. Like he got over 1 billion votes, in our country. He got more votes than Black Jesus. And because he's just so unbelievably popular, people just love Joe Biden. It was a landslide, literally a landslide in 2020. And that gives him the authority to do whatever he wants, whether you like it or not, because so many of your neighbors voted for him. You don't know their names, but it happened, okay? It happened. It's sort of like COVID deaths. You never actually met anybody who died of it, but millions did die. Everybody voted for Joe Biden except you, so shut up. So he has this mandate, this moral mandate to do literally whatever he wants, import 30 million people illegally, and you're not allowed to say anything about it, racist. And yet at the same time, and then Democratic primary voters, just like the other day in our system, the members of the party vote for their nominee. He's elected by his own party. People actually went to the polls, cast a ballot for him. But all of a sudden, because he might not win against the orange man, we need to take his job away from him by force and let the donors put someone in there who can beat the orange man, because that's democracy. And that made me start to think for the first time, maybe we're defining the word democracy a little differently. Maybe you've got a different understanding of what that means. Maybe you think democracy is when we do exactly what you and 8 of your friends want. That's what you think it is. Whereas I think democracy is when you do the will of the majority over time.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's so good. I love Tucker.
He is. He is.
He's funny, but he speaks the truth. And yeah, he has his opinions, and he even says that, though. He's really humble about it when he says that, this is his opinion, and it's, not worth much. But I do think that he does try to speak in truth as much as he can. And he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Very informed, but funny. Love his laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, that was really good. I did not know about the fact that his family knew that he had dementia before he even ran for president. I mean, I kind of want to go back and look that up and see if there's any.
That was new for me as well. So I kind
That
of want
makes
to go
this
back
whole
and
thing even more sinister.
yeah.
So I feel like, you have a feeling in your gut. You're like, something's not right,
Right.
but you can't put your finger on it, or you
Mm-hmm.
don't have the facts, to back it up. So you just think, well, I'm being paranoid, or am I just being, am I just falling into the propaganda trap, or whatever, because there's so much out there, and it's so hard to know what's really true. I mean, some things you're like, I really want this to be true, or I really don't want this to be true, but it could be, and so you want to make sure that you know the truth.
Well, if it was, they hid it very well in the beginning, and maybe it was true. Maybe
Well,
it's
think
not
about
true.
it. He didn't campaign.
Right, and that
COVID,
may be in the
optimal
reason.
timing. It's like
You're
these
right.
things don't just line up ever so perfectly.
Yeah.
He was able to hide out, not campaign. We've never really seen
he won
him.
the presidency without stepping foot on a campaign trail. He stayed hidden in his basement.
This is going to go down in the history books. Like, this is all of this. It's like an American scandal. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And what's wild to me, because I've been on X today, the past couple days, and it's just blowing up. Everybody's just, and I try to follow, independents, libertarians, as well as people on the right and the left, just because I like to get a good, mix. Yeah. And it's just wild to me how there are, and I don't know, they could be trolls. I don't know. But there's so many that are still like, no, Biden, he's a good man, and he's the one, and we need to vote for him, and all this stuff. And I'm just like beating that dead horse to death. Yeah. And then Obama even made a post today about it. And I'm just like,
well, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. I couldn't help myself. I responded. I'm sure. Anyway,
yeah.
But I don't know. It's like they just really think we're stupid. Yeah. They think that we are stupid. They think we've bought it, and some have, and I hate that. Some of them are so in it, they can't see the forest for the trees, because it's not about Trump. It's not about Biden. It's about us. It's about the people. It's about America, and doing what's best for all of us, not just special interests, not just certain groups, everyone. Yeah. But anyway, we have another video from the same conference of Tucker.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. He goes after a reporter.
Well, they're interviewing. Yeah. Not interviewing, but it's questioning. He answers it.
So he answers it. He goes after her. This is good. It's about 5-6 minutes long. So just kind of
typical
sit tight
Tucker
and enjoy this one.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement Theory. This is the same.
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well,
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times. And
really, when did I say that?
On your show.
I said whites are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that, because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans. And Americans black Americans have been, African Americans have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. So I've never said that whites are being replaced. Not one time. And you can't cite it.
Untrue.
So we just met, but when our relationship starts with a lie, it makes it tough to be friends. So
you've been lying
let's
about
pull
my
that back. I'm happy to explain what I do think. Well, you actually can't say it because I didn't say it, and I don't believe it. And I'm telling you that to your face, so why don't you just accept me at face value? My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world, to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral. And they are being replaced in my country, people who are born in the United States. And the birth rate tells the whole story. They are not at replacement rate. And so the US population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children, and a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
I never called you a racist.
But of course you are suggesting, and
Well,
I must say, one of the reasons people don't like people like you in the media is that you never say exactly what you mean. Your slurs are all by implication, and you're about to tell me the great replacement theory is racist or anti-Semitic, whatever. I've said what I've said to you right now like 100 times in public. I hope to, if I live long enough, to say it 100 more times. I think it's completely honest and real, not racist or scary. It's factually true. It's not a theory. It's a fact. And the whole point of your question was to be like, you're a scary racist.
Well, I haven't.
And my response is, no, I'm not. Okay, well, how about no more lying in your questions, and then I'll answer it.
Okay. Well, this is the same theory, or as you say, idea, that has inspired the New York Buffalo shooting, where 11 Americans were killed. 2 white Americans were killed.
Like,
he's trying.
It's not. First of all,
it's inspired one of the worst Australian guns.
How do they get
time
people
to
this stupid in the media? I guess it doesn't pay well. Look, I'm sorry. I've lived among people like you for too long, and I don't mean to call you stupid. Maybe you're just pretending. But I'm totally against violence. I'm totally against the war in Ukraine, for example, which doubtless you support. And like all dutiful liberals, support more carnage. I don't. I hate mass shootings, actually. Nothing I said, what does it mean to inspire something? My views are not bigoted against any group. They're honest. They're factual. That's not hate. That's reality. And my views derive from my deep concern for Americans, actually. Americans aren't having kids because they can't afford to. And nobody in charge cares. And so that's my position. That doesn't inspire mass shootings. How dare you try to tie me to some lunatic who murdered people? How dare you, actually? And in fact, I mean, do you know what I mean? I'd be like,
I love it.
Hitler wore those shoes. A lot of people are saying that you're like Hitler. Can you explain those shoes? Hitler wore exactly the same shoes. And you're like, I've got nothing to do with Hitler. Well, that's how I feel about your absurd, disingenuous question.
Right. So therefore you support gun control?
What? I thought it could have been dumber, but it did. No, I don't support disarming law-abiding people so they can't defend themselves. So the government has a monopoly on violence? I don't think so. First of all, in my country, that's illegal, as you know. But moreover, it should be illegal in every country. A sovereign person has the right to defend himself and his family.
You know they're going to be clapping about that in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And that said,
they took all their guns.
Totally opposed to harming anyone. Have you been calling? Are you concerned about the war in Ukraine and the countless innocents being murdered there every single day? I doubt you are. Probably Putin bad. I am. I'm a Christian. I hate violence. I hate mass shootings. I have guns at home and often on my person when I'm in the United States, I'm proud to say, because I want to defend myself and those I love against violence. That's the point. I'm not perpetrating crimes. I'm not shooting strangers. I'm defending what I love. And if you're against that, I guess I would ask why. Why would you be against that?
Well, so you don't think you harbor any kind of responsibility for these hate crimes?
Oh my God, this chick.
I'm trying to be charitable. I'm trying to be charitable.
She clearly has no idea who he is.
I was like, maybe you're just pretending to be dumb. Now I don't think it's an act.
Oh my, jeez.
Tucker, thank you for taking those questions. I'm sure you enjoyed.
Actually, I loved it. I just feel sorry. I mean, because I got here and the country's so unbelievably beautiful and the people are so cheerful and funny and cool and smart. I'm like, your media's got to be better than ours. It can't just be a bunch of castrated robots reading questions from the boss. And then it turns out it's exactly the same, maybe even a tiny bit dumber.
Wow. I absolutely love Tucker.
I do too. Oh God.
You're not gonna come at Tucker with crap like that and not have him come back.
Well, the thing is, I gotta take these off. But the thing is that they're just warm. The thing is that he's been in this game for so long, and I hate to call it a game, but I mean it's like journalism, and so as a reporter, as a young, new, novice, I don't know who this person was. She sounded young. No. Maybe I'm assuming I shouldn't do that. But anyways, do your homework.
Yeah.
You should know who you're questioning.
Right. And if you're gonna come at
Clearly,
Tucker,
she didn't.
If you're gonna come at Tucker like that, you better bring
She
receipts.
read some key points on an email. Maybe she did a little Googling.
Someone told her, ask Tucker
ask these questions, whatever. But she clearly has no idea who he is, and and he schooled her, and that was just, I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was hilarious. So
I love that one.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I love Tucker.
Yep.
Anyway, we big fans. Love his show too, and he has some very interesting interviews and stuff.
Does.
If you've never watched, he's got a channel on YouTube and X and all of that. But
well,
did you have anything that you wanted to add?
No, I don't. That was very good. I enjoyed that. Both clips were very good. Like I said, I like Tucker. I like what he has to say.
Me too.
And I enjoy listening to him. So
me too.
Yep.
It's a good video.
It was a good video. Well, thank you again for watching. Thank you for all your support as always.
Thank you.
Please
like and subscribe.
Share with your friends. Help us grow.
Yes, please.
We keep trying to put out good quality content and something that will that everyone will enjoy.
Yes, and please comment too and let us know if if you like the video, if you'd like to see more, if you have something that you'd like for us to discuss. If you have a video you want to share with us, put it in the comments. Maybe we can do.
There's been some good discussion in the comments.
There has been. We've been really enjoying
really nice.
it. We appreciate the feedback a lot, and it's nice to have dialogue with real people who have real opinions. And
we try to get back to you quick as we can. So
thanks for your patience and your support.
Anyway, thank you, and until the next time, we'll see y'all.